Hi everyone, my name's Steve Ferguson, coming on behalf of Sour Grapes Winery and NSHG Films. I want to talk for a second about the Dove Real Beauty campaign. By now, most of you on Facebook have seen a video circulating around courtesy of Dove's Real Beauty campaign. If you haven't seen it yet, click on the link here, or if you like, I'll just quickly summarize it. So, some FBI sketch artist is in a big room and he's surrounded by a screen that he can't see beyond. Pairs of women meet up in a waiting room and they get acquainted. Each woman comes into the room and is told to describe herself with the artist unable to see her. She is then instructed to describe the other woman she just met. Well, lo and behold, with each woman, the self-described portrait was always uglier, plainer, harsher, whatever, than the portrait as told by the other participant. Each woman reacts with some shock, but some understanding, and the sketch artist brings it home by asking if the women now believe they are too hard on their own looks. Dove reminds us that we are all beautiful, and fades out. Within a few days of me seeing the video, which I thought was in line with the rest of Dove's Real Beauty campaign, I began to see articles of hate springing up, much to my surprise. Even more surprising, they were all written by women. Some of my feminist friends latched on to this gravy train of logic. I read through their points, and I let it sit for a bit. Here are several of my thoughts. Number one, yes, Axe and Dove are owned by the same company, but that's meaningless. I can hear you all right now lashing out at me, sending off a vicious email. Let me clear a few things up. I will not now, nor ever, defend Axe body spray. Axe is marketed specifically to teen boys. Grown men will never wear Axe, unless they are actually teen boys in disguise. Axe's advertising methods are stupid at best and sexist at heart. The one that blows my mind is the most recent one, where a firefighter saves a bulimic girl from a burning building, but she leaves him for an astronaut. And I'd like to point out that not a single one of those three would ever have anything to do with Axe. Axe's whole argument is that their overwhelming stench of a product mind wipes women, turning them into sex-obsessed beasts. And in reality, it's more likely to make them vomit. And everyone knows that, except teen boys. Here's the thing though, Dove is not made by Axe. Axe is not made by Dove. They are both owned by the same company, Unilever. But they have different marketing, different production teams, different employees, and different goals. Blaming Dove for anything Axe does is like blaming ABC because you didn't like the newest issue of X-Men. Yes, both ABC and Marvel are owned by Disney, but I hope you see my point. If you despise Axe, like me, why don't you save your hate for Axe? Or tell you what, write into Unilever, let them know. Say, guys, why are you releasing such tripe? No one buys this stuff except teen boys. Just say, if you like masturbating 4 times a day, you will buy Axe. That's basically all you need to do. Point 2. The commercial is not inherently racist. Now, I acknowledge that women of different ethnicities aren't strongly represented in the commercial, but that doesn't mean that the argument they are making is invalid. I find it hard to believe that so many people have latched on to this one. Now, I also acknowledge that racism is still very prevalent in Western society and that we should be mindful of our history. Yes, this is a big point, but we are starting to forget what racism really means here. It's the explicit or implicit statement that one race is superior to another. You can be racist by omission, sure, but I would argue that would be in cases where you would expect to see minorities. For example, if this piece was specifically said to have been filmed in Harlan, and everybody brought in was white as a ghost, I would call racism here. Come on. But we are in some nameless, anonymous city. I think that's the point. This video is supposed to be set in anywhere USA, or anywhere Canada. So again, if your whole distaste of the video, which has the message, you are beautiful the way you are, hinges on the lack of people of color, it's kind of a weak argument. Is it a flaw in the video? Yeah, it is. I would like to see more people represented. But this is not a scientific study, nor is it a 15-minute long expose. At worst, it's a little poorly edited. Perhaps the women chosen to speak had more insight, and why should their voices be of any less weight? Point 3. The problem isn't just with Dove. Allow me to introduce you to Dove's pro-age ad.
New Dove Pro Age. Beauty has no age limit.
And look, there's a woman of color. The issue? This ad was banned from the US for showing too much skin. Dove has to conform to American standards of advertising or they don't get airtime. Fight the power, you might be saying. Keep trying anyway, stick it to the man. Don't forget, Dove is in the business to make money, and any advertising that is restricted from a massive portion of their audience is not worth the money. Dove is pushing the envelope as far as they can. Point 4. Outward beauty is not the enemy. The enemy is the focus. If women are denigrated to just their outward appearances, that's the problem. I personally find many traits on women sexually attractive, but that is not all I'm attracted to, nor is it prevalent to my interactions with them or my schema of who they are. This does not mean beauty is irrelevant. Now hold on, don't hate me yet. My point is twofold. The first is concentrated on the statement at the end of the ad.
I should be more grateful of my natural beauty. It impacts the choices and the friends that we make, the jobs we apply for, how we treat our children. It impacts everything. It couldn't be more critical to your happiness.
Her assertion is not incorrect. Unfortunately, looks do play a part in her role in society. They shouldn't, but they do. I do not see anything wrong with a woman feeling empowered in not only her abilities, talents, and intelligence, but how she looks. It is the focus that can be the problem. You can't tell me that any woman worth her salt doesn't want to be told by a loved one that she's beautiful. If a husband says that to his wife, does she turn around and say, "Don't focus on my body"? Come on. Number 1, society unfortunately does value external beauty, but you can't expect an advertisement to change that. Thankfully, it's trying to be on your side. Number 2, they are trying to encourage you to find yourself beautiful. Point 5, at the end of the day, this is still just an advertisement. Dove's ultimate goal is to make money, and one need only look at their peers to see why I think you should prefer their marketing. Beauty products will frequently use celebrities, models, and what may be androids to instill an unrealistic image as to what women should look like. You may be saying, but that's my point. Dove is still telling us how we should look. No, they aren't. They explicitly tell you to like how you look, to find beauty in how you look. Their ad ends with the company name, not a product. All other ads I've seen tell you that to be beautiful, you must have this mascara, you have to use this deodorant, you have to wash with this shampoo, etc. At no point in the ads does Dove advertise itself beyond an end credit. And I wish more advertising was like that. We'd be a better off place. Now, let's expand our scope a little bit. How do ads treat women in general? You know, I prefer a good-intentioned ego boost to that disgusting, misogynist sludge any day. Thanks. Here are my closing thoughts on this. Have we become so cynical as a people that unless the message conforms 100% to our views, that it is invalid? Have we become so jaded when hearing compliments that we look for an ulterior motive? Have we as a people been so badly hurt by society's expectations and forced roles that we can only be satisfied by extreme responses? The feminist movement is needed. We live in a rape culture. Women are targeted by predatory men and advertisements alike. They are so used to being crushed under a glass ceiling that anger sometimes outweighs reason. I'm not saying your points aren't valid if you hate this ad. It is a commercial. I hate most commercials too. I just think that hating this one is a little extreme. Dove is a company entrapped in a system that it simply doesn't have the clout to change. It's not Coke, it's not Disney. But they're trying to work within that system to make you feel just a little better about yourself without pandering to you. Yeah, the ad could have been better. It would have been nice to get a little more insight, but you're never going to get the perfect advertisement. Because if you did, then it wouldn't actually be an advertisement. Well, I'm here to tell you that you are beautiful, both inside and outside.